Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet. I'm Kathryn.
And I'm Sara.
And today we're going to be visiting Glacier National Park in Montana. And okay, I know I throw around that word beautiful a lot on this podcast, but this time I really mean it.
As opposed to all the other times you say it?
Yeah, when I was just filling up space on the air.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but I saw a photo of this park online and I thought we really need to feature this place. And for some reason, I had never heard of it before.
When I heard Glacier National Park, the first thing that came to mind was Alaska. I just assumed that Glaciers, Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
But I never suspected it was in Montana. But it's been a national park for more than 100 years, and it's just a really magnificent place in the United States, and it's considered one of the best kept secrets. It's mainly because it's never been quite as popular as, say, Yellowstone or the Grand Canyon.
Right, or some of the others. And that really needs to change. Just to set up the scene for you, Glacier National Park is more than 1 million acres in size, so it's really huge. And it's located, as we said, in Montana, but it also borders the Waterton Lakes National Park in Canada. And the two countries, they collaborate on wildlife management and some other issues. So they have what's called the world's first international peace park. And in case you're wondering whether it's truth in advertising, yes, Glacier Park has a lot of glaciers.
To be exact, Kathryn, they have about 25 of them. So what exactly is a glacier? Well, it's basically a body of ice and snow that moves. Obviously, they move very slowly.
Hence the term glacial pace.
That's right.
Right.
And they form when winter snowfall exceeds the snowmelt in the summer. But not everything in Glacier National Park is a glacier. They actually have more than 750 lakes, and there are countless waterfalls. There's tons of hiking trails. So there's plenty of things to do other than ogle over the beautiful glaciers.
Yeah. Also, the park has almost every animal that's native to the United States, including the gray wolf.
Which is, of course, endangered.
That's right. And the grizzly bear, the bighorn sheep, and the mountain goat, which is the official symbol of the park. And one reason that they have such a complete collection there is that the space is really large, so the animals have plenty of room for roaming. And because it was designated as a park pretty early on, those animals could still be protected when there was a large number of them.
Yeah, and it's not just animals. There's evidence that humans inhabited the area as many as 10,000 years ago. By the time European explorers came, the land was controlled by the Blackfeet, the Salish, and the Kootenai Indians. And Lewis and Clark actually surveyed the area. Their northernmost camp, which was called Camp Disappointment, is located.
A disappointment to them.
Yeah, I guess so. The camp is actually located just south of the park. And by 1910, the land was set aside to be a national park, thanks to lobbyists and explorers like George Grinnell.
Yeah.
And it was named the country's 10th national park by President Taft.
In the early 1900s, the Great Northern Railway began crossing near it and promoting it as a tourist spot. And they built a number of these Swiss chalet-style hotels that are now on the National Register of Historic Places. And they're still in use today, so you can still go and stay at them if you were in the park.
Speaking of historic designations, there's a road called Going to the Sun Road in the park. And it's the first American roadway to be named both a National Historic Landmark and a National Civil Engineering Landmark.
Wow, that's impressive.
And it's one of the best things about Glacier National Park. It's a 50-mile drive that was completed way back in 1932, and it just spans the width of the park. You can cross the Continental Divide at Logan Pass, and along the drive you see tons of glacial lakes. You get to see the cedar forest. At the top of Logan Pass, you see the amazingly windswept alpine tundra.
Yeah, and it was in the movie The Shining. There was like this opening shot on that road.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But, it's really undergoing an extensive rehabilitation, obviously, since it was built in 1932. So check online on the National Park website. They tell you all the different road closures. So definitely want to check that out before you head out.
And another reason that you really want to make it a priority to visit is that scientists think that there may be no more glaciers in Glacier National Park by 2020 because of global warming.
Which is only in 8 years from now. So that's really not a lot of time.
I know, that's pretty amazing. Well, when you think about it, there were 150 glaciers in 1850, and now we're only down to 25. So that kind of tells you what's happening there.
So one of the best spots in the park to catch a glimpse of the few glaciers that are left is in an area called Mini Glaciers. And it's what a lot of visitors consider to be the heart of the park. It's filled with, obviously, mountains, lakes. You can see a lot of the wildlife there, and of course, you get to see the glaciers. And it's also home to two of the most popular hiking trails, the Grinnell Grinnell Glacier Trail, which is named after the explorer, and Iceberg Lake Trail.
Well, we hope that you'll go visit Glacier Park this summer. And if you do, make sure you send us a picture on Facebook or Twitter or by email, and we'll have all those addresses at the end of the podcast.
We'll also have a lot more information on Glacier National Park on the blog as always, and we'll see you next time on The Coolest Stuff on the Planet.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit HowStuffWorks.com. Don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free on iTunes.